Was he here last? Well, obviously not last week, but the week before or not?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was,
first time we met.
yeah.
Yeah, first time we met Carl.
Okay.
Stream is going.
All right. Well, in that case, we can just crack straight into it. So, who would like to just recap where we left off in the last game?
Are you there? And have you got the notes? Otherwise, I'll jump. Oh, you muted it, man. Okay, so we began about half day's travel away from Herdogus. Jasper woke to find Locke attempting to draw a moustache on his face for sleeping during the last session. Bit of a prank, Robox prompting. Jasper was initially incredulous about it, but notices a new figure, Keck, in the car. Jasper asks who on earth is Keck and what is going on. Keck introduced himself, and he's a fellow traveller of the God's Car and Talitha, and has recently joined the party. Jasper checked his items, making sure that the deck of many things still remained in his possession, which it did. We got into a long conversation on the way to Herdogus, and Hezekiah asked Keck how he got from Saramog to Greyhaven. Keck reveals he's not that knowledgeable also about halflings, thinking that they are still just small children, which initially angered Jasper and Keck's naivety. But he seemed to move past it as Keck stumbled through the conversation, offending all halflings. Keck apologised for his awkwardness, and Hezekiah reassured him on how to get along with people and gave a few social cues. Romok and Loss especially continued to question Keck. Robert asked what Keck picked up during his time in Greyhaven, asking if he'd picked up on any rumours of the parties. Indirectly asked if he'd picked up on any rumours of the party's whereabouts or previous dealings. Locke added that he'd like to know what stories Keck heard while in Greyhaven too. So overall, we introduced Keck a little bit more. We found out a little bit more about his origins and his lack of insight, his lack of knowledge, his apparent lack of intelligence. And yeah, primarily just focused on our journey to Herdogus, which we arrived to. And we were, after some dilly-dallying and toing and froing, with Hezekiah remaining at the top of the steps, the party made its way down into Herdogus, where we met a few characters. And we had a good old discussion about Harvest Godsbane as well. And Romok and Keck bonded over the trial of fire whiskey, as recommended by Locke. And the last thing I have is that we just basically continued conversing long into the night. And we were in, I don't have the name of the inn, but we
Like the
found
Whisper
lodgings
Lock.
in the local. The Whisper Lock.
Whisper Lock was it? No, it wasn't Whisper Lock.
Whistling Rock.
That's it, Whistling Rock.
Whistling Rock, was it? Sorry, the Whistling Rock.
Rock.
Ah. Thank you. And yeah, so that's basically where we left our party. Just chatting and conversing, drinking and enjoying pork. And also, Locke asked about the availability of riding goats in the local area.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
There are a few other pointers. There was a large golden archway. There were some very insistent mantras around "you do not steal here. If you steal, you will not be regarded kindly." Demand.
Giant crystal golems and all that as well.
Everything kind of covered in gold, and this is Herdogus is a source of great wealth, and knows it and flaunts it. But there have been some examples made of those who would try their luck as thieves. We found out that Herdogus is not only defended, it is heavily fortified.
So you are all in this pub together, this tavern. As described, it is a lot nicer than a lot of the establishments you've visited in the past. Um, you've come from a very sort of down to earth area, Greyhaven. It was very simple, really. Whereas here, everything seemed to have an extra layer of decadence and polish. There were many people around you, which are all sort of chatting and conversations going on, drinks being had, food eaten. What would you like to do?
It's quite late now, right?
It is getting late, yes. You're into the night at this point, almost.
Well, perhaps there's not much we can do till the tomorrow.
No, I disagree. Another round.
Oh no. Well, I won't partake. Bloody expensive.
Certainly not the fire whiskey. But I'll kind of knock my tankard down on the bench and just ask for a refill.
And you see a dwarf looks over to you from the bar. He shouts over, "Whiskey!"
Not this time, friend.
He gives you a nod, and a few moments later, he comes back with a drink for everyone at the table. It's the prices, but I think it was a couple of silver or something like that. Puts down a great big frothy ale in front of all of you. Enjoy, lads.
Thank you.
I'll pick up this round.
That's very kind, Twin.
How much was it again, Woody?
I'm just trying to find it. I think it was only about 2 silver apiece, something like that. I think there's 6 of you now, isn't there?
Yep.
So he takes the money from you, and he heads off back to the bar. You can see as he's walking back, there's some rowdy dwarves sort of shouting and bellowing at each other and clinking tankards against Joey. He's watching as they sort of jump into each other as well, colliding in their shoulders and still keeping their drinks aloft and barely spilling a drop. And looking around, there seems to be fairly common, slightly rowdy people. The majority of them are dwarves, like 95% of them are dwarves. There is the occasional other species in there as well, other race in there as well.
While we're sorry. While Romok is starting on his next drink, he's kind of keeping one ear out for kind of conversation, just sort of scanning the room, just to see the general kind of hubbub. Are there kind of games going on? Are there people kind of conversing? Are there anyone that sort of looks like? What's the general feel? Are these like kind of workers? Are there kind of more high class people? I just want to kind of pick up on a general sense of conversation, if possible.
Roll a perception check for me, please.
9.
You look around. You have your drink in front of you, in front of your nose, just peering across the top of it, left and right, and there's just a lot of noise all around you. You can't quite pinpoint any particular conversation, but it looks like there's a lot of different conversations going. Nothing which you can really sort of identify specifically, but looking around, you can at least tell that the majority of the people here look like they're very sort of well-off workers, really. You're in you're in the market district, and it seems to be like what you might assume to be the more regular townsfolk in this area.
Is there like maybe like a group of 2 people, not too rowdy, a bit more of a quiet bunch?
Mm-hmm. You have a little look around as well, and you can identify there's a couple of dwarves sort of sat at the end of the bar there, just sort of more quietly chatting to each other over the top of a beer as well.
Do you mind getting the map up for me real quick?
Sure. Which map?
The area map. The Whisper Caps, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to remember what that bridge is called.
Yeah.
Arkham Bridge. Cool. I will approach these 2 people.
Yeah. And you can see that one of them is sort of a slightly older one who's got a long white beard, goes down to his knees, and it's all sort of braided, and has got rings throughout it. And his ears, he's got very large ears, but they've got sort of nicks in them. The other one is sort of the middle-aged compared to him. But both of them look like they have the same sort of attire on, sort of slightly dusty, dirty, working overalls in a way, but still very nicely put together.
Yeah, evening, evening, folks.
And they just sort of slowly spin around in their chair and look over their shoulder at you. Yeah? Yeah.
How goes it? Are we good? Are we well?
All good here, yeah. Well, who are you, though? I don't believe I remember seeing you in here before.
No, new in town.
New in town he is.
Yeah. Do you mind? I just need a minute of your time to ask a question, if that's okay, or a couple.
Couple questions.
Yeah, just want to ask some locals some stuff, you know? Get down through the crap, you know, straight to it.
And the older of the two sort of turns around in his chair more, and he pats the stool next to him, which is an open spot, obviously. And he says, "Sit yourself down. Before we talk all that, get yourself a drink and share."
Yeah, I've carried my drink over. So, this Argon Bridge, what can you tell me about it?
Whoa. And they both hold up their drinks to you, and they're just holding their drinks forward in front of them, in your direction.
What, like to cheers, or?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Alright, well, I'll try and blend in best I can.
And they all clink tankards together with you, and do a great big drink. They wipe their mouth. Now, what did you want, young man?
No, say, the Argon Bridge. You ever go out that way?
No, I've not been on the wrong side.
Wrong side? Do explain.
Well, you go over the Argon Bridge. Generally, from here, You're either traders heading back to the coast, or you're heading to the town. And being as I live here, I know I'm not going to be going to the coast anytime soon. And I sure as hell
Yeah.
ain't going to that tower.
What's so weird about that tower then?
The tower?
Yeah.
Well, being new here, you won't know, I suppose. Northern, that's what it's called, Northern. That's where we keep all of our prisoners. You do anything wrong that doesn't get you immediately, and he sort of drags his thumb across his throat. That's where you end up.
Yeah, if it's not in the wall, it's in the tower, right?
It's the way. That is how the hammer falls.
And like getting across this bridge is alright, you know? Like you can just leave the town and just go that way. There's no trouble.
As long as you don't mind heights. You look over the side, you ain't going to see the bottom.
Right. Well, I've been quite high up before, so
I don't know if you've been this. You ever been to a place where you just can't tell whether you're looking up or down because it's all the same? A mist surrounding you, and nothing but the wind whistling past you, cold biting at your lips.
So it's a bit of a difficult journey then.
Not for the faint of heart, I would imagine, but enough traders make it.
But that's good. If they can make it, I'm sure my sorry lot can.
And he looks over your shoulder towards where you're gesturing to, or insinuating you're talking about your party.
Yeah.
I imagine I know which ones you're with.
I think at this point, Romok is just drinking his drink and has a foam moustache.
Blend in a lot of you, don't you?
Yeah, not really. Stick out like a sort of thumb a bit.
A little
But yeah, we've got to go that way. Is all. So I just thought, especially us locals who know a bit more. You know.
bit. Well, it'll be safe enough. It is a regular trip for most people. See, most traffic in here comes from the east and the west. So you'll find that be the easiest way to go generally. As long as you stick to the paths, you're generally all right. That's what I hear anyway. I never really leave. Mountain's my home. Oh, bloody.
I bet. Well, so what do you do for work in these bits? Are you miners?
We miners. Of course we're miners. And he sort of nudges into the side of his mate and he does a little sort of laugh to himself.
Me old man's a miner, so runs in my blood too.
From here?
No. Way down south.
Oh. Down south. Not sure I can think of any mines that stand out in my head.
I don't think it would compare.
I wouldn't imagine so. Right,
well, I'll leave you to your evening. Thank you very much, and have a good one.
All right. You enjoy yourself, and what do you reckon? And he nudges into his mate. They just whisper to each other a little bit. If you get bored, just tell someone you're into looking for a bit of sculling.
A bit of what?
A bit of sculling.
Gullin. that like
Scullies, yeah.
smashing heads with someone?
Well, oh, you'll find out exactly what happened if you want. That'd be great fun.
Tell you what, I'll tell my
Mountain-
my friends over
mountains
there, and maybe you can watch them make a fool of themselves, eh?
Maybe we can.
Right. Well, there you go. And I'll get up. I'll get back to my group.
And as you're going to get up, they sort of bang their tankards on the bench in front of them, and they raise them up. Say, "Come on, you see off."
So I'll reluctantly give them a little cheers.
And they all down their drinks. And as they're drinking, they've got their eyes open, just staring at you and seeing that you're making sure you're drinking as well.
Yep, I'm drinking.
And they finish off their tankard, slam them down, and say, "Yeah, another one."
Right,
And they call over the bartender, and they bring them another round of drinks for themselves.
I'll sneak out and escape.
Mhm.
Turn back to the group. Come on, you know you've got a stash, right?
wipe the back of my hand across my mouth, and just the dribble just comes around like the big kind of orc teeth. Yes. Thanks. Like, I think Romok at this point, depending how long it's been, is probably starting to slur his words just that little bit.
Oh my.
This is probably the first time in a while that it's a new place. They've gone through a lot with the previous tower, and he's just starting to relax a little bit. Let what's left of his hair down. This
Well,
is very nice.
it was rather good, wasn't it?
Nothing against our temporary acquaintance Sylvester, but it is nice to have a proper meal again.
Oh, I mean, he was a very good, very, very good cook.
It was.
A friend of yours you recently left?
Yeah.
We met on the road, but yes, we have had other accomplices, friends
business
in the
account.
past.
Sounds like you're all a
We
very...
weren't always this group, but we're a party that welcomes new people and says fond farewells to those who are no longer with us.
Yeah.
At least for now.
I'll kind of always pretend like Sylvester's like dead, and I'm like, this one's to him.
Oh, yes, to friends we've lost along the way. May their feet be guided by car back to us again in the future.
I think this is the business. When you first put in there.
Right, shall we, obviously, you know, it's nice to be under a roof or whatever, but we also have, lots to do, probably, tomorrow. Shall we make kind of a little plan and then leave on our way, or does anyone have other things that they want to do?
Well, should we not attempt to get in contact with Grim Hobar and potentially Lord Gorshin? Now, we can't just walk up to them and speak to them, but we do need to touch base, I feel.
Yeah, that's one thing. We can try. I say try lightly.
Well, Lachlan, I noticed you were getting along quite well with two of the other gentlemen there. If I heard correctly, you were asking about the Argon Bridge.
I was indeed. I was, thinking about tomorrow, thinking about where we gotta go.
Yes, if we had a better idea of... Okay, what are you, just looking at the kind of map of Herdogus, is it kind of like there's a west road here to like White Shelf and then an east road across the bridge?
Well, we haven't really got a map, so to speak, but essentially, there's this very large expanse that you're in. Essentially, it sort of funnels down, so it's a lot wider at the top, and you've got all these different layers. Now, you do see crisscrosses of bridges going, and actually, one thing you do know, looking out as well, there are also what looks like cables running from side to side as well.
Sorry, I was asking about the map of like the Whisper Caps as a whole. Like the one with the Herdogus in the center, and like the Argon Bridge looks like it's going just directly east of Herdogus, right? But then is like White Shelf and the Saya overlook like to the west of Herdogus? Like we
Yes.
came here from the south, right? I'm wondering if there's like a main east and west road out of the city.
Now, when you came in, when you first arrived, you did see that there was three main sort of entrances through the surrounding wall, with the paths leading out. So you came in on one of them. Obviously, there was another one which was heading off to the east, and another one heading off sort of westerly direction as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. While we are invested in following up with what is Xanet's crew called? Like the Invisible Hand or something like that? Or the people Xanet was talking about, right? We were kind of attempting to follow them, or at least
Dark Passenger.
The
Dark
Break
Passenger.
and the Council of the Dark Passenger.
Right. We broadly want to try to find out whatever we can about them. Aside from that, we are more actively kind of following the lead of the murder hobos who came before us. And
Well, I think they're linked, no?
yes,
Yeah,
certainly they're
that
linked. But our trail of the murder hobos kind of went cold, right? Just south of Herdoga, like just judging by where the murders are. We would imagine that they came to Herdogus.
We know where they went. They went across the bridge. I spied on them. That's why I was asking about it.
Oh, okay. So you do know that they went east. Okay, that's great. Never
Yeah,
mind.
you've
That
had
was
a couple of times. You've had a couple of times where you tried to spy on them, and you
Okay.
definitely saw them going.
right, so we
one
definitely
thing,
ought to be going.
one thing I did find out is it's this Northern Tower thing. It's a bit of a prison. So perhaps, just a working theory, they might have a comrade or something in there that they might be trying to rescue.
Definitely. Did you look closely at this map by Tarvis Godsbane? There's apparently a timeless lake not very far from here. It's interesting, with that rather off-putting wizard we met a little while earlier. Wonder if he has any interest in that or anything to do with that.
Maybe that was to do with some of his previous dealings, where he said he tried to him and his partner.
Yes, maybe his mother tried to drown him in it as a child, and that's how he turned out the way he is.
I don't think so.
Well, it is quite late in the day, and we're all exhausted from all of that. There are Moraz, especially. Dwarven hospitality, secondly.
Well, this place seems a bit like it's got some money, so maybe we can find somewhere. I've got a couple of gems I'd like to try and sell before we get off.
Well, The thing is, though, is surely gems might be better to sell somewhere where they don't mine underground, where there's probably an abundance of gems.
Well,
I mean, you
I
can
can see
try.
what that offer you for them.
Yeah, I mean, I just think maybe they'll probably have a lot of them.
See,
So it'd be like
there's no
trying
harm
to
in
sell fish
asking
in
what
the middle.
their buying price is.
They would definitely be good at appraising gems. Although selling gems here would be a little bit like trying to sell fish in the middle of Greyhaven Lake.
Right, so plan tomorrow. Maybe sell gems. Find riding goat. That'll be me. And try and get in touch with. Was it Lord Grin?
Or the Lord of the Mountain.
Or maybe his.
If if if
Yes,
if, if, it, if it won't be too
of
much,
the two of them. Sorry, go ahead.
if it won't be too much bother, I would probably like to find some warmer clothes. He kind of just like tugs at some of the rags on him. But these aren't really cutting it. I'm starting to feel warmer now after that nice meal, but I think I'll definitely need something else if we're going to be here much longer.
Yes, we'll definitely have to get you equipped. But these people should be very good at that. I mean, we got these wonderful winter clothing just down in, oh God, what's the name of that city, which was where Art said goodbye in Dragon's Bane? Or whatever. The City of Sadness. City of Sadness is its new name. So I have no doubt that you will be well taken care of here.
Okay.
Yeah, well, how about we maybe split up, right? You can go with Jesper and the shopping team. I kind of want to get Goat as well, though, but maybe that'll be on the way. And, you know, anyone else who wants to try and shop or find something for us can go with them, and the rest of us can try and maybe speak to Lord Grin or somebody.
I said I would check in with Torcumber, but he does need some time to look into the recent comings and goings of the Knights of Shantae. That is something that I would appreciate catching up with him on, but
Sorry, who?
it's really futile to do that so early. Torcumber was one of the generals, captains, some high enough person with the guards, at any rate. We met him on our way in.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I said I would catch up with him at a later date, but like I say, he may need some time to find that information.
What is it again you asked him?
Just, he mentioned that he was familiar with the Knights of Shantae, and he was going to look up whether he could remember any of their names or a way to contact them, or direction of their travels, anything like that.
See, well, you know, I can always contact people for you if you need.
Oh, yes, of course, Locke. It's more just a case of my own awareness of who was coming and going in this area and what. Obviously, my relationship with the temple is a little bit fraught at the moment, but knowing who is friend or not foe, but you know, who may be working in these areas.
Yeah, I understand. Alright, well, lots to do tomorrow then. Maybe we call this the last drink and go to bed.
I very much like that. I'd like to get my my shell a bit warmed under some nice blankets.
fine idea, and I down the rest of my Tangard. I think that will mark the end of it for me. To bed then.
I forget. Did we get 2 rooms or 3?
3, I think.
3, I think it was
3.
2 room.
So yeah, 3 rooms. Okay. I say to Brother Keck, Keck, would you care to room up with me tonight?
Of course, as a guy, that'd be fine.
Wonderful. I'm feeling so tired today. I feel like I would go for a full 8 hours of sleep. All this meditation really, it leaves you craving the real stuff.
You don't sleep?
Well, you see, our people, elves, that is, we are able to maintain our vigilance through 4 hours of meditative trance each night. It's not entirely like sleep, but it does refresh one enough. It allows you to really think about things and digest the events of the day. But when your body aches, it's got to be real sleep.
How fascinating. Fortunately, I don't do anything like that. I actually need a good few hours in my shell and right as rain in the morning.
Well then, let us retire.
So make your way up to your rooms, and as soon as you start moving into this next floor in this building, you see this row of this column of this corridor ahead of you, these rows of doors on either side. They all look very nicely designed, intricate. These very dark wood doors with these just seams of metal running through them, which seems to be gold. You open the door, you go in, and inside all of your rooms, you see that it's actually quite a spacious room. You see there's sort of these columns just sort of floor to ceiling with veins of glowing crystals spiraling up them, which is casting this constant glow throughout the room. In the center, you can see a sort of large bed, or in some of the rooms there'll be a couple of beds, and the beds are designed as again this very nice looking dark wood, which is almost black in color, and it's almost like all the beds are these very luxurious 4-poster beds with these sprawling canopies above them, coming down with drapes at the sides. There's little desks to the sides of the room as well, tables, vanity mirrors, everything that you could imagine would be in there, making it a very nice place to bed down.
I would probably remove Lop again, as that seems to be the most common person.
The little beds.
Yeah. Yeah, when we're in the room, just was sort of pull out the deck just to look at it, and he's not going to do anything. We're just struggling over it. But he'll call over to Locke.
Oh,
What do you know of Valesh?
sorry.
Valesh.
Where have you heard that name
Oh.
before?
Sorry?
I said, where have you heard that name before?
Why? What do you know of it?
It's something I've been researching. I remember all the way back when we were in the I don't know what it's called, the Sanctum Tower, the magic place,
Library place.
Incandescent.
the Incantum Tower. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, I went into the library, remember, and that's what I was trying to find more about.
Nice. So, what do you know of?
Not a lot. How have you heard the name?
I've come across it in passages, shall we say.
Hmm.
So I understand there's a couple of items associated.
Yes. Are there?
Yeah, something about a cudgel.
A what? Sorry. Say that again.
It's a cudgel, I
Cudgel.
believe. Though I have no idea what association is and why it's necessary. But also a book.
Right. Yeah. Go on.
I'm asking you because I expect you to know something. Like what can you tell me about them? Why are they so sought after?
Uh, I don't know. What,
Based
even
on
is
your
a
research,
what even is a cudgel? Just a big stick, right?
maybe not too big. What exactly were you researching about?
Just the past and who they are. Uh, honestly, your name's all I had to go on to begin with.
And where did you get the name?
Is this a private conversation?
For now, I'd rather not discuss it with the rest of them at the moment.
Well, if you promise me it stays private, I'll tell you where I found the name.
Yes, please.
It fell out of my book.
What do you mean it fell out?
It basically what I said. It just kind of. It was just on a separate piece of paper. It fell out.
It's okay. What if I told you I had a diary of sorts? And
Well,
it's definitely mentioned.
I'd probably get very angry because you were withholding the information from me.
Like you're withholding information from us for a lot of this journey. Hot kettle and all that.
Sorry. I gave you as much information as I was willing to share.
Yes, and I've done the same.
I start kind of like rubbing my shoulder and kind of like almost in pain.
So, do you remember why we got run out of Greyhaven?
Well, because I tried to warn everyone not to go into that house.
Well, let's just say this diary was in that house.
So you were hiding something from me.
Oh, look, you've been hiding something from us for a long time.
Yeah, but you knew it was important to me.
I did not. That's what I'm trying to find out now.
So, when I mentioned I knew whose house it was and I warned everyone, and then you find something that belongs to said person, you're saying you didn't know it was important to me.
Yeah, but just because you knew the person doesn't mean it would be important to you lot.
You know, I did it.
Right, well, the diary, and I will show it to him at this point, and point out some of the entries that I've read from it. The diary states that she
Have you read
found
it
the
all?
book. I have given it a good flick through. She found the book. The book was hers, but the cudgel remains elusive for whatever reason. The book diary then speaks that the spell book vanished without a trace.
Without a trace, you say?
Yes, and the captain of the ship that was transporting it had nothing but vague excuses. It goes on, it says that the knowledge and magic within the pages are as powerful as they are perilous.
You know, that's the whole reason I was using a fake name, right? I have the book.
What do you know of this flesh?
I know they were from before, you know, before the great, whatever it's called, when all the dragons went poof.
I had meant to do some more research myself after I finished researching what was locking down the deck, but I didn't have time to follow up on it myself.
I don't think you realise how big of a relief it was that she didn't know what happened to the book.
She doesn't. It seems that she was desperately searching for it and was upset when it got removed from her grasp. She thought she had it.
I don't know what to say. I just
There was one more entry, which is tried to ask you about this before, but didn't get anything from you.
oh,
Said Cedric came to me last night, told me it had a few rumours circulating about members of the old crew popping up, and that she was going to investigate those avenues to try and find the book. I say Carmel. That you mentioned a name called Carmela. And her old crew, sorry.
Ah, so she does.
I don't think she knows entirely, but she was certainly going to be exploring the possibility.
Which means I was right to be careful. And right to try and remain dead for as long as I could. Well, if you let me read the book, I can, get a bit more sense of things. And then I can tell you once I've kind of calmed down.
Only if you promise to tell me everything. No more hiding, or from me at least. So stay between us if must.
But now, yeah, yeah, I'll promise to tell you what I think I know.
And you've never heard of this cudgel that accompanies the book?
I've heard of a key. But I told you about the key ages ago. Right?
Yeah. Yes, it's just the way it was mentioned in the diary. Just wanted to check. Okay, I'll give you the diary for now. You can carry on reading it. See if any of the other notes make any sense to you.
Thank you. I will, well, maybe trying to read it after those drinks might be a bad idea. Okay, well, look, I'm gonna probably try to sleep on it and then read it come morning. But I appreciate it. Appreciate you giving it to me.
No worries. Just remember your promise.
I will. I will.
And Jasper will just go sort of lay down in bed and take his gear off and just relax, staring up at the ceiling for a bit.
Mhm.
Finally, the book is mine.
So the ceiling is all this sort of rock, carved out rock, and you just see these sort of ridges of carved areas of broken mountainous rock that's formed the ceiling. There's little bits of crystal which are poking out here and there. Almost looks like stars in this darkened room. One thing you also notice as well as you walk to the bed. The bed was slightly larger than you would have hoped for, Jasper. It's just right for you, Locke. When you got to your bed, Jasper, as you stepped up to it, what was once a slightly larger bed seems to shrink a little bit to match your size perfectly.
Oh.
It's hospitality.
And this is the same thing which happens to the rest of you in your rooms as well. When you get in there, you realise that all the beds look like they're sized for dwarves. But when you approach, they will stretch to the absolute perfect length for you.
Well, this is magnificent. I just recline down on the bed sheets.
And you notice as well, this is one of the softest beds you've experienced so far in your life.
Gwyn just sort of sinks into the bed and just falls asleep.
Yeah, I think with Roma's like kind of alcohol-fueled buzz, he'll just sink into the comfort of the bed and probably just fall asleep for what is likely to be one of the most comfortable and safe and relaxed sleeps he's enjoyed in quite some time.
In all of your rooms as well, you have this one large window on one side of the room, which looks out on the open expanse of the city of Perdogas. A slight breeze which is billowing in the curtain slightly, but it's not really cold. For some reason, it's quite warm. Probably because you have also the heat, the furnaces, and lava. You also have roaring fires in your room to accompany everything. Is anyone else doing anything?
And Keck will probably put his hand on one of these rigid walls and kind of say a little prayer to Kar, and once he's finished, kind of look at Hezekiah and go, I don't think I've ever been so embraced in Kar's bosom like this. He is around me on all sides.
Truly insightful, Brother Keck. I am trying to drift off to sleep where I might be embraced by very many bosoms.
Oh, I do apologise, Hezekiah. I will let you rest. And Keck will retreat into his shell on his bed.
So unless there was anything else anyone else wanted to do, we can go straight ahead as night rolls on. The night continues. You all bed down, relaxing in your rooms. And after 8 hours, you find yourselves stirring, waking up from a very, very good night's sleep. The light is exactly the same as when you went to sleep. There's a constant light down here, coming from fires, from the glowing crystals. So you have no idea what time of day it actually is. But you do know you feel fully rested. What would you all like to do now?
Can I go down and try and get some breakfast?
You slowly make your way down. You find that the tavern is still full of people who are eating and drinking. You can smell the nice smells of cooked meats. You see on tables as you go past, you can see people are eating things like cooked meats, eggs, mushrooms, all sorts. And still, they have a nice tankard full of beer in front of them as well. You hail down the bartender and you can order yourself some breakfast. He comes across and he asks you what you would like to have to eat. He will offer you a variety of things. But just the standard meat and eggs would probably be simple enough.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. So you've got you have omelets. You've got roasted insects. There are plates of eggs, bacon stuffed bread. Got minced pork, roasted goat, and there's even some breakfast pies.
I'm going to get some of that bacon stuffed bread.
Mm-hmm. He offers that to you, and that would be 10 silver.
Okay.
So a little wait, and it comes out to you, and it is a very big plate full of food, and does smell absolutely fantastic.
I just
The
get
bread is
one
very
more. Carry down.
the bread is very tough though, and looking around you can see other dwarves in there seem to have the same sort of dish as well, and they're just literally grabbing hold of the bread and just ripping it apart with their hands and then just tucking in.
Yep.
Not a great deal of etiquette to it. How about everyone else? Is anyone else doing anything now that you have woken up?
I will probably stay in the room weirdly longer and just try and read a bit in the morning.
Okay.
Hezekiah will go down and try to find the rest of the group in the main dining area. He will still be munching off of one of the leftover good berries from yesterday, though. At this point, are there only 2 people downstairs?
Yeah, I think Romok normally would be up very, very early to do his kind of morning routine, exercise, present, whatever. But I think he'll also stay longer in bed and just be sort of relaxing, ruminating, and just reflecting on the current state of himself and his affairs and the kind of safety and wealth of that which he sees around him. But yeah, he will make his way down, but probably slower than typically he would be up and out.
Hezekiah will wait for, at least 3, 4, 5 people to kind of get downstairs before bringing up anything.
I could probably do some morning prayers and then head down. Again, being this close to the earth all around him is a bit of a exciting buzz.
It's high on life.
High on car.
Jasper would have stayed up a bit later, just in bed, and he'll still be asleep for a fair while before he finally decides to wake up. Which point he'll probably see Locke reading through the diary and just sort of little nod, and then just pack up his stuff and slowly trudge downstairs.
I'll just be like, yeah, I'll be down in a minute. And then I won't come down for ages.
So you get together, most of you, and you are finding it to be quite a enjoyable breakfast time down there. Everyone seems to be in good spirits, and there's good food and drink around you.
Once we have most people, Hezekiah would suggest some planning about how we go about the day. Some people wanted to go shopping in a very conventional sense. Jasper wanted to look for a jeweler. Keck wanted to look for a tailor. Aside from that, we need to find some way to get an in with guards here, to try to talk our way up to the Lord of the Mountain. I feel like Romok and Lachlan have the best talents at that task. Perhaps I might join them. How about you, Twin Edge? Do you feel inclined to go one way or the other?
I don't see. Can I see if? Well, can I head to a blacksmith to see if I can hone my swords, sharpen them up? Because they haven't been sharpened in a while.
Yes, you can certainly do that. Looking around the particular level you're on at the moment, can't see anything that looks like blacksmith on this particular level. But give me a perception check.
2 seconds. Reception. 12.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that this is the wrong level to find a blacksmith. This seems to be a lot more of the general market trades. You get a feeling maybe a different level might be better suited for you. And looking around, you see above you, looks like compared to the buildings you have around here in the sort of residential, well, the market area, the levels above you look slightly nicer. Looking down, you can see it's starting towards industrial side of things. So you've probably got a good idea in which direction you might be best to head in.
Yeah, I'll head down.
You make your way down. You make your way down, and you start looking down. You do indeed spot several areas which look like they could hold blacksmiths. Large sort of archways opening into these essential doors inside, and hanging from the front, sort of a sign which looks like a large anvil. You can see crossed swords on other ones, hanging shield in other ones as well. There is a variety around as you start walking through.
I'll go with Twin Edge just so he's not walking around alone.
Oh, okay.
So which one do you want to try to?
I'll just try the one with the anvil hanging outside.
Mm-hmm. You make your way in, and you see a collection of dwarves in there. It looks like there's about 3 different dwarves, each at different anvils. Seem to be tempering steels in the furnaces and bringing them to the anvils and quenching the steels. You see steam just jetting up from things as they're being quenched. It's very hot in here. There's a lot of noise, and the air almost feels slightly thicker. But you can also see around you is just walls of very nice looking swords and axes. See one dwarf on a grinder, moving back and forth, sparks just shooting off it as he's sharp. Stops for a moment, looks up and goes, "Hey!" He's looking at you expectantly.
Oh, I thought the mic cut out. I'll just I'll approach the one who's using the grinder and go like, "Hi, good sir. Would you mind honing these two blades for me?"
Give him here. And he holds out his hand, and he has a look over him. Ah, he's a shite. Get yourself a new one.
Turn to the guy. I'm like, he doesn't need a new one. Like, if you get into something too fancy, it'll go to waste. He doesn't hit anything anyway.
Looking at these blades here, we can sharpen them, sure. But it was like a waste. A little bit of sharpening, just go straight through them. That flimsy. Look at that. They're piss. He's just wobbling it. They're almost doing that thing where, if you like wobble a pen.
Yeah.
And he's kind of doing that and just grimacing at it. Look around. We've got plenty. Grab one of these. Let's sell it you.
If you could just indulge my request and sharpen my blades, I will have a look around your store and see if any swords take my fancy to replace these so-called piss blades.
Just the two?
Yeah, just the two blades.
5 silver. We get them done.
Okay.
And he just takes the blades and he starts to move it back and forward on the grinder, starts to polish them up. Looking around you, there are a variety of different weapons here. Largely, they are swords, daggers, and axes, but they are of a high-end quality by the look of them. There's some very nice wood, very, very nicely worked metals, and they almost have that. It's like that. I think it's Damascus, where it has that sort of the little waves going through the metal.
Yeah.
Almost have that to them.
Okay. I'll go have a look at the long swords.
Yep. You go and you look, and you can see there's incredibly nice blades there. There are swords, long swords. There's rapiers. They all have these designs of this darkened steel, this Damascus-looking steel. They have elements of gold threaded through the hilts. The guards are pure gold. They are just very fine.
Okay. Do they look like they'll be any better than the blades I have, or they're just more decorative, like made to look very expensive with gold handles and such?
Looking at them, you can tell they're definitely of a higher quality than yours, but how much better than yours they might be, you are not 100% sure.
Is there any like katana-looking ones?
Looking around, in this particular shop, I would say no.
Okay. All right, I'll ask the guy who did my sharpen my blades to see if he knows of any dwarves who who specialise in making katana blades.
Mm-hmm. He is looking at the blades you've given him. One of them would have been the katana, I take it.
Yeah, I'll say one of them would.
He's looking at it, and these kind of blades, not my cup of tea. But go across the way there, and he points across to one of the other ones there, which had like swords. He might help you out. Give them a try. Unless you want a new axe, lovely sword, some nice ones.
No, I've got no use for axes. And I prefer to stick with my family swords, thank you.
Well, you may have your lovely little toothpicks back. Here you go. And he passes them these freshly sharpened and honed blades for you.
Bro.
Just out of curiosity, what do you charge for your lovely sword collection?
Swords. You will be looking at the long swords, about 30 gold.
That's too big for me, I'm afraid.
Rapiers. We've got rapiers as well. A little bit lighter for the smaller folk. We'll be looking at about 40.
Shout over to Jasper and point at the daggers. Say these are more your size.
That's horrible.
I mean, they seem to fit in your ribs perfectly fine, Twin. I just reminded him of when I stabbed him with the dagger.
I mean, I mean no jest by that comment. I mean, you're more depth with a dagger, as I don't know too well. Hold in the side where you stab me in the stomach.
My rapier seems to work just fine. I'll pull my current rapier. I'll head over like this. Would you say it'd be a marked improvement on this one, your one? Apart from slightly more decorative, of course.
An improvement, you say?
Yes.
Steady it up. Give it a different blade. A little bit stronger. We can certainly do that. You'll be looking. Let's see. I'd say, do you want us to really refit it? Do you want a new grip on here? Some new leathers woven into it?
Whatever you think is best. I trust your expertise and your judgment. You are the professionals after all.
We can improve this and bring the quality up to a much more acceptable level. Be looking at 200 gold.
Cool. That price is a little bit steep.
Yeah, but then you're going to have a wonderful per Douglas crafted rapier. You might call it a +1, but it would be a boon to you, I can assure you.
How long would this improvement take?
Leave it with us, and we'll see what we can do by the end of the day, maybe tomorrow.
Let me see. We're looking to move on fairly quickly, so I mean, if you could squeeze it through today.
I do have other customers. I'm working on some orders right now. So, as much as I would like to squeeze it in, because you're in a hurry, I cannot, because then I'm letting other people down.
Maybe I'll think about it next time we visit.
Maybe you will.
Yes.
And I would just, a word of caution. If you're looking for something of a higher quality, something that will be a place of pride a little patience go a long way.
I would love to exercise patience. As I say, the rest of my group may not be so willing to hang around.
Well, have a word with them. Tell them exactly what you're going to be getting. It's going to be worth it.
We'll see. I may yet return.
We look forward to seeing you. And he moves back to his work, and he starts to continue. And are you going over to the other one, Twin?
Yeah, I'll walk across the road.
You go in there and you find, again, it's a very similar sort of setup. You have a couple of dwarves in here working furnaces, and you can see a collection of slightly different styled blades in here, more towards your katana style, as well as a few other kinds. You have javelins and sickles, and these also look very high quality.
Okay, I'll walk over to the katanas and see, and just peruse over them.
So you can see that there's a variety of different styles there in terms of the finish which is put on them. Again, the steel looking on these looks very similar to what you were seeing in the other stall, the other blacksmith with the veins of almost Damascus style steel running through. It's a slightly darker steel as well. There's various different colors. There are different qualities of leathers used in the hilts. There's golds, gold cross guards, and everything is very nice. All the way down to the sheaths they go into as well. So you'd be able to find any color really that you're looking for, any sort of style.
Okay. I'll just go and find one that's just like a plain white, like sheath on it, a very basic like hilt.
You find one and take it down, and it's got it's almost like bone, this white sort of shiny sheath on. It's white. It's not leather. It's like this fine fabric, woven fabric going through the hilt. You bring up. It's sort of crisscross type of stitch work, and in between each crossing, there's like this little gem embedded. Take it out, and you can see it is razor sharp, and it is incredibly nice looking.
I'll go up to one of the dwarfs working there and see how much I can get this for.
So there's a very broad-shouldered, big bearded dwarf in front of you, and they're just currently working in the furnaces. They haven't actually looked over at you at the moment. They've got their back to you.
I'll just approach him and go, excuse me, I would like to buy the sword.
And the dwarf turns around, and she says to you, "Oh, yeah, one of our finest swords there by the look of it. Not a problem, not a problem." Yeah. Give a little cough, a little bit of phlegm, a little bit of spittle runs down her beard. She wipes it. If you're interested in that, we could definitely sell it to you. And you'd be looking at that one is 200 gold. So 200 will set you fine on that one. Take away a piece of her Dogus.
200 is a bit steep. What would make
Give you the edge in battle? This will set you apart from the others.
Why could I just get a longsword from across the way for 60, and you're going to charge me 200 gold for this? What? Why is this so much better than theirs?
A longsword is a longsword. This is a fine piece of kit. It's an extension of your arm, pierce through your soul into the soul of another, and cut them from the fabric of the earth. This blade. You won't find finer marksmanship, not marksmanship, workmanship, crafting than you will on this particular weapon.
Okay. I want to try and barter with her and see if I can get it for a lower price.
Okay. So
So
roll. See if you can roll a persuasion.
okay, that's
7. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to go. That I can do 100, and I can
You can
go.
do
Yeah,
100.
I can put 100. I can put 100 gold down for this.
100 gold. Yeah. 100 gold. You can have the sheath and put your sword in. 200 gold, and you can have the sword and the knowledge that you're going to be taking away a fantastic weapon.
Okay, I'll give it one more go. I'll say 150. 150 for the two. Otherwise, I'm walking out. Persuasion again.
She takes a little step back and sniffs, sticks her thumb to the side of her nose and turns her head and just shoots out snot into the corner.
Okay, I do the Puss in Boots eyes.
You got me on a day when I'm feeling a bit softer. She holds out a hand. 180.
Okay, I don't want to push it any further because I think I'll just fail it. I'll go 180.
She has a hand out flat for you.
I just put a bag of 180 gold into her hand.
She takes the gold and grabs your forearm and pulls you in and gives you sort of a shoulder shunt. Good deal, good deal. And she turns, picks the sword, places it in front of her. It's a little clean off. Make sure it's absolutely perfect. Turns it in her hand. Slides it out and makes sure just tying down the blade. Close it. You can put down that you now have a +1.
What would it be? A plus one? What would you put it down as?
It would be. I suppose it would be a longsword.
Yeah, that's what I was reading up. That would be the closest thing to a katana with a longsword. Okay, okay.
+1 longsword. Yeah, very nice. And you can feel it now. Now it's in your possession, in your hand. You secure it to your belt, and it just feels good. It feels right. The weight is absolutely perfect. You release the blade, you feel it, and it's perfectly balanced. Everything about this blade is just perfect. Even as you take it out of the sheath that first time and hold it in front of you, there's this little sort of hum in the air as the metal sort of reverberates slightly in your slight of your hand as you examine your new blade. almost like it's stinging to you.
Okay. And I'll walk out and meet up with Jasper again in the other shop.
Mm-hmm.
When outside, I'll put my hand to my ear to use the earring. I'll say, guys, do we have to leave today? Could we possibly go tomorrow?
I can't answer.
No, you threw yours away.
Hezekiah responds.
Yeah, I'm not secret robot.
Hezekiah responds to Jasper with let us hope to get some amount of audience with the potentates we're looking for, and perhaps if what they have to tell us is compatible with us spending another night here, then that might entirely be possible. But we don't know what we're about to find out.
I have a feeling that if I want to get this done by tomorrow, I need to put in my order now. I want to. He's going to upgrade my rapier for me, but he said it could take all day, maybe tomorrow morning.
I feel like we do have to speak to at least someone. Ideally, Lord of the Mountains, Grim Hobar, but we need to understand more about the situation we're in before we make any decisions, I think. Let's get back to you in a little bit.
I feel like we can wait. We can spend all day trying to get this meeting. I can help. I'm good at talking to people, for the most part. So, Madam Romok. Mark.
Sorry, I muted myself. Yes. Yeah, robot.
You still owe me money, by the way. For this shield that you missed out the price on.
Yes, you're right.
Good, I'm going to need that. If you could just pop down here, we're just down a bit lower level, and give me
I'm on
some
my way.
money.
How much are we talking, Jasper?
Oh, I believe I put in 40 gold for your shield, as you were desperately under budget.
Embarrassingly so. I'm on my way. And I'm on my way.
Thank you.
Is the try to talk to Grim Hobar group getting anywhere?
I take it I'll be done in the room now, and then I will come downstairs.
Okay.
Oh, well, where are the others? I know I was a bit late, but
Well, they've all gone on a shopping craze. I think it might just have to be you and me who try to make our contact here.
oh well, we got Keck, haven't we?
Oh, that's right. Where is Keck actually all this time? Oh, wait, no, he's shopping for clothing or something, right? Or no, we can do that yet.
We haven't really done that yet because kind of you were asking Twin and then Twin just kind of went off. So I don't know what the shopping group was. Would I have gone with them? I suppose.
Have you gone with anyone, or are you staying there for now? Would you say?
I need those clothes. So if they were going shopping and Keck had a clue, he would have probably followed along as well with Jasper and co.
So you are with Twin and Jasper. You watched as they completely left the market area and went straight to the lower the lower level with the blacksmiths and the other forgers and workers.
I mean, the market level would have had what I wanted on, would it have done, rather than going to the lower level?
You would have been able to observe that there were several stalls which had clothes. There looked like there was also a few buildings which they may have been tailors of some sort.
So nothing really. Oh, there would have been tailors or just tomes, did you say?
They would have been tailors by the look of it. Yes, it looked like there was some sort of signage hanging out the top, which looked like a spool of thread and needle,
So maybe
as well as several market stalls which seem to be offering different clothing.
So maybe while Twin and Jasper were kind of off in their own, kind of trying to get to the blacksmiths, Keck was following along, but kind of tried to make them aware he was going into here, but they didn't quite hear him. And Keck's gone into the tailors now on his own, and didn't really get a look in of them knowing that he was there.
I think based off past interactions, Jasper just ignored Keck.
Yeah.
No.
Would you have ignored him as well, Twin, or would you have paid any attention?
What was that? Sorry.
That Kecker's wanting to go elsewhere and is trying to sort of head toward the tailor.
Yes. If that was after I finished my purchase, then yeah, I'd go with Keck.
Oh, you go with him. Oh, okay. Would this be before or after then, Keck, would you say?
I'd have probably done it before, just because I've got no interest. Kind of got no interest in the blacksmiths. I've tried to gesture to the guys that just go. I'm just gonna go and inquire about some clothing in here. Whether they heard him or not is their own volition. But Keck's been on his own for a while. He's kind of used to that anyway, so he's quite happy just wandering off. What trouble that gets him into later, we'll see.
Okay, so you mooch off towards the market a little way. You can see there are several stalls, but they have different clothing options. There is also a few different stores, it seems, clothes as well, specialised in clothing, tailoring. So, would you like to head to stalls or a store? What would you prefer?
Let's try one of the stalls first, because it'd be probably what's first there, and you'll kind of wander over to one. It's like, good day to you, and may Car's blessings upon you. I'm in search of some warmer garments than as you see what I currently have.
So, the owner of the stall sort of turns around to you and just holds their arms out. It's a little dwarf. It's got a very sort of short beard, which is parted in the middle. It's all braided up, and very many little sort of beads in different lines running down it. A little pair of black as well, perched on them. They have very big ears. And he says, "Yes, I can help you out. We've got all kinds of different clothes here. What are you looking for? Just point something out, and I'll find something that fits you perfectly." And he just adjusts his spectacles. Yeah. And you can see it's a small but sort of well organised stall. In sort of the middle tier, you see it sort of filled with folded stacks of heavy cloaks, capes, scarves. And there's even like a sign above the stall which reads, "Only a fool goes to the mountains without a proper coat."
Well, I do believe, as your sign says, I'm in need of a proper coat. Just something to defend against of the cold. I'm not really from round these parts, and I believe I may have fulfilled the first part of your sign as well. Huh.
Well, I can see that you do very, very much indeed. Oh yes, absolutely. Well, we've got many things here for you. Cloaks, coats, scarves, everything you could want for the cold weathers outside. Let's have a look. We have some finer looking clothes here, and he points out to a few sort of outfits which look like they're very warm and they're fur lined and very nice and luxurious looking. These here, you'd be looking 15 gold, and it's essentially as a top and a sort of almost like a tabard.
Right.
Or if you're looking for something maybe a little bit more travel-y, and it's sort of a throw over, almost like a poncho, this one. It looks very finely made as well. This one here, a little bit cheaper. It doesn't come with quite as much, but you'll be looking at 5 gold. Of course, we have scarf. We've got lovely scarves, and he shows, he gets a little rod, he leans up and pulls out this sliding bar that comes out, and with it is just a range of hanging scarves. All sorts of lovely scarves here for you. Just 2 gold apiece.
What would you recommend for traveling?
I'd recommend all of it, my dear. Someone like you traveling, you're going to need all of this. It's very cold up there, as I'm sure you realise. I'm surprised you managed to make it here alive without anything on. Goodness me, sir.
I barely made it. I mean, but do I need just the poncho? Do I need a poncho and a scarf? Do I need a coat and a scarf? Do I need a coat, poncho, and a scarf?
Take yourself a poncho, take yourself a scarf, take yourself over to the next stall over there, get yourself some gloves.
So, scarves and gloves. Yeah, any particularly divine looking scarves? A bit more of a whitey green?
A whitey green colour. You have a look, and he pulls the little rod more, and it slides out a few more scarves. You can see there's a range of different ones, and there is one which is a little bit white, a little bit green on there. And he pulls it down for you, hands it over, and it does feel nice and warm and thick. 2 gold, and it's all yours, my dear. Just adjust his glasses again.
Yes. I think I will take this. 2 gold, you said, yeah.
2 gold on that, but take the poncho as well, otherwise you will freeze to death on your way out.
Poncho as well. Okay, what was that? 5.
5 gold, absolutely. There you go.
So do you want 7 in total? Is that?
7 gold, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
a bad
what sort of colour were you hoping to find in terms of the poncho?
Just probably something a bit more plainer. Browny, orangey colour, something to match the shell.
You can find some which have a sort of light brown to them, a little bit orange to it as well. Yeah, you'll be able to find something. It won't be quite to match the shell, but it will be a nice compromise, I would say. But it does feel very nice, fur-lined, warm. It's definitely going to help keep you warm. And he says, make your way over there, get yourself some lovely gloves as well. Unfortunately, I can't offer you those. We don't do those here, but head over there, have a word with Yilga. She'll sort you out. And he glances down. Oh, good heavens! Get yourself some shoes as well, Mac.
I certainly will. Could Can you point me to someone who might have those as well?
She'll help you out with those. Don't worry. Don't worry. Gloves and shoes.
Thank you very much. What was your name again?
You can call me Doric.
Doric.
Doric Embercroft.
Well, thank you, Doric. Was it Ember?
Embercroft.
Embergroff.
And he gives you a slight bow, and he sort of tips his head forward and gives you a 2-finger point. He says that. Almost like a gun.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doric, and may Car's blessing upon you, and may he guide your footsteps to an ever prosperous. Yeah.
Okay. Very well. Enjoy your day.
And he said the next one was called Yurt.
The other one called Yilga.
Eager.
Yilga.
So trundle over to that one. It's like, good morrow, Eager. My friend Doric has recommended I come and speak to you about some gloves and shoes.
And you can see it is just a table full of different kinds of gloves. And below is sort of these pull-out drawers which seem to be holding different kinds of shoes and boots. So she will be able to offer. Oh, something lost my page or something. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's not my boots. Where's my boot? You'll be looking for gloves. It's going to be in like 4 gold on gloves and 6 gold on boots.
I can't afford those.
Oh.
She looks you up and down and says, can't afford those. She says, oh, good luck. And she moves away to talk to another customer who just walked.
What was it? 4 gold on shoes and what on gloves? 2.
I think that's what I said, wasn't
4 and 2? I think, yeah.
It was 7, right? That's what you did, wasn't it?
7 for the last lot, but this now being
Oh.
shoes and gloves. Was it 4 for the shoes and 2 for the gloves?
4 on the boots and then 2 on the gloves.
I can purchase some gloves still. If you please stay where you go and help me.
She turns back towards you. Yes, dear.
Perhaps I could also.
And she is a dwarf as well, and you can see she's got a little moustache that's curled up.
Perhaps I could interest you in a blessing and some gold for perhaps the boots and the gloves.
I'm a businesswoman, dear. I don't deal with blessings.
Very cool.
And I am a brother of Car. I do not have much, and I'm travelling, and I'm trying to spread the teaching of Car far and wide. And have you heard of Car?
I can honestly say I haven't. Roll a persuasion check.
This might not be very good. Well, it's not too bad.
So she looks you up and down. One of those temple sort. Yes, you're not really known for having much money, I suppose. Well, I do have some old stock here. Let me see. she just pulls out a little drawer from behind the side of the car, the stall, and brings out a pair which doesn't look quite as nice. They look nice, but not as nice as the other ones here. Give you a gold. You can have these.
Greatly appreciated. You get was it just a gold? Was it?
1 gold.
Okay, 1 gold. Is that for both gloves and shoes?
Just for the gloves.
Huh. What about some shoes, you guys? Is there any chance of some shoes?
There's a deal on the shoes as well. She goes behind and grabs a pair. She drops them in front of you. It looks like they are mismatching pair of boots. 2 gold.
Is there no chance that
3 gold.
Yeah.
3 gold.
2 gold? Okay. And he'll hand over the 2 gold, and at the same time, when he hands the gold over, he will cast a little guidance on her.
She just stops you as you put the 2 across. The 2 is for the boots. You want the gloves, it's another gold. 3 the lot.
Oh yeah, I did that as if I'd already bought the gloves when she first came out, and then that's for the boots.
Okay.
Sorry, it's kind of that's one of it. But then also
You take
tap in a hand for it and pass on a guidance as well. And may Car's blessings be with you, Yiga, and I'm very grateful for what you've done for me this day.
She looks down at her hand, holds her hand in her other hand, just looks up at you. Charmed, I'm sure. Enjoy your day. And she just sort of smiles curtly and turns to the other customers who are looking.
Thank you, Yiga. Goodbye.
And she doesn't say anything. So you now have a pair of gloves that are not to your colorings that you would have looked for. They're going to be very much off from what you are. So, and the boots, as I say, are 2 different style mismatching boots.
Just setting a new trend. It's fine.
They're of a good quality. They're of a decent quality. I mean, they're not high end, but yeah, they are what they are.
Okie doke. On that note, I'll probably try and find my way to Jasper and Twin from there, if I recall where they went.
Just get lost.
Best of my knowledge. I've always got the other direction to help me.
Roll a perception check. Did you say you wanted to check your orb again, did you?
I said I've always got it to help me.
So you take the orb out, and what do you do with the orb? How do you try and work the orb?
Just kind of like it's in his hands, like just like twisting it around, like giving it little shakes, like this last thing. No, a bit like Mr. Bean on the road, looking up and down, sort of thing. Like, where do I go?
He's sort of looking at it, shaking it, and you're watching for any of these little glimmers of paper inside it to come to the edge to sort of give you any sort of hint or guide of what it could be. You see a couple of them settling against the side of the glass in this milky glass. And you look around and you can see like there's these wires which are going across and heading down to other levels. And you can see that there is actually on one of them, you watch as a dwarf zips down on one of them with an axe over his head. Little sparks trailing out from behind him. He just goes zzz. But you can't see exactly where you might have come from initially. One thing you do spot is you thought you saw Twin in a cafe, just to the side of the mark. There was a small cafe there with some tables and chairs outside. And you saw what looked like a figure there, which had similar sort of masks to what Twin has got. But you get a bit closer, it's not him. And you walk on. And eventually you find some steps leading down. And you will eventually bump into Twin and Jasper.
Jasper, Twin, I've got some nice warm clothes now, and he's like do a little twirl.
Glad you now dressed appropriate for the area.
Indeed, it was a little bit chilly. Definitely lightened my coin purse as well.
Yeah, same. The items here are expensive, but they are of the highest quality I've find it.
What about you, Jasper? Have you purchased anything on? Oh, fingers asleep again.
He may well be.
Or he's just waiting on Romark to bail him out and give him the rest of the money.
Are you there, Matty? Oh, looking good, guys. He's asleep.
No.
Oh, there he goes.
Yes.
He's not asleep though. He's just... He's back, but still silent.
So Hezekiah and Romok on the other level.
Yep, making our way to Grindelwald. Although I have received a message from Jasper that he needs cash.
Wasn't it Hezekiah and Lachlan are going to do that while Romok is going to the shopping area?
I think I would have been with you initially, but it's
Right.
I suppose it's where the priorities lie.
Right.
If you think you've got the conversation with the Lord of the Mountain in hand, God.
Okay, so maybe, like before you got the message from Jasper, you, Lachlan, and I, like, come up with a plan, right? We have made contact with this person before, this person being Grim Hobar. Nope. Lord Gorsham, I think, was who we contacted about the South Tower. Not Grim Hobar.
No, that wasn't.
So we have contacted this person before. If we try to talk to some of the guards and try to, we're outsiders. They're not going to be happy with showing us around and leading us up their chain of command. But if we start off with, we have contacted this guy about massacres at the South Tower, hopefully we will be taken slightly seriously. I'm thinking your natural physical charisma and looking more like a hero than Hezekiah is a good way to try to impress any of the guards we come across. So, or just Lachlan being a dwarf. So, that's what I was thinking, right? We find some guards, try to talk our way up the chain of command, ideally to Lord Gorsham. What do you two think? Hello?
Yeah, I mean, we try through Romok's mate, and then we try and see if we can get higher up.
Right.
It's as good a starting point as any. It's a conversation starter at the very least.
Remind me, Romok, who was your friend who was in the city?
Talk Torque Umber, and I wouldn't exactly call him a friend. He's somebody who was aware of the Knights of Shantae working in these parts.
Ah, okay. But they are not a Knight of Shantae themselves?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
No, he
Well,
was above table. He was I don't know whether he was quite a commander of the guard, but he was known as a bit of a kind of boss of the infantry, I think.
do
I have here.
you know this person's location?
I would imagine he's at the guard's house, or the equivalent.
I mean, yeah, if there's like a central barracks, then that would be a very good place to go. So,
That was going to be my question. Do they have a kind of central military, or do they have kind of outposts, Woody? Like, how does it work?
What you can see initially is there are recesses throughout on every level, and it looks like there's corridors set back away from the main thoroughfares of the streets and everything, and you constantly see guards marching in patrol along them. There is an odd guard here and there at the streets, like the edges of the bridges. But the majority of them are patrolling the edges out of the way of everyone. And obviously, you did see a large amount when you first came in the entrance.
Okay, cool. I think, I mean, he's said that he's happy to look into information about the Knights, so it would suggest that he's willing to assist us. But
right, but we don't know where he is because it's so distributed, right? So,
not exactly,
my
no.
suggestion is just talking right now, if we're still at the inn planning this all out, talk to the innkeeper. I will go talk to the innkeeper and say, excuse me, sir. We had come to the city with some relatively dire news that affects the South Tower, and we had previously made contact with a commander in the city, a Lord Gorsham. We were wondering if you might know how we might go about finding this person to brief them in greater detail.
Oh, we won't speak to Gorshin direct. Normally,
Right.
the second in command up there, the entrance might help you out under the name Torque. Or just talk to any of the guards in general. They might be able to help you point you towards a captain or something.
Ah, thank you very much. Okay, back to Romak and Lachlan. So Torque is just at the front gates, it sounds like is what he just told us?
I've just got an idea. Why don't I just message him?
Gorsham, well, the last time you did that, he did not seem very receptive. Many people do not enjoy being telepathically communicated with, and we want to have a good rapport going into this.
All right.
These seem like disciplined folk. We should be able to... Oh, Woody, did I hear that correctly? That Torque is specifically at the front, the south, I guess, gate?
That's what the guy said. Yeah, he said you'd
Okay.
find him at the entrance,
right.
basically where you came in.
Right. Let us go to the south gate.
You make your way there, and you find yourself going back up the golden stairs and coming back out into the open cavern. You can see as you walk into the right, you've then got that lush vegetation where they're essentially stabling the animals, and in front of you it's just a room, an open room, and there's just lines of guards in front of you. As you come up the steps, the guards in a little building next to the entrance turn and look as you're coming through.
We met Torque yesterday, is that right? So we know what he looks like?
You see him there. He is just staying back in the building for now, and a slightly younger looking dwarf that comes out to you. and you can see they're wearing this nice looking armor. They've got the helmet over their face, so you can only just see their eyes. And they're holding a large sort of spear.
All right. Hezekiah goes up behind Romak, gives him a brief shoulder rub, and says, "You got this. Let's go." And I give him guidance in case he needs to do any persuasion rolls in this.
Very nice. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm looking for Talk Umber. Is he here?
Yeah, he's there. What do you need with him?
We met yesterday. He said he may have some further information for me about some acquaintances of mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, I think I remember you coming through. What was it you wanted? I'll probably help you out.
Looking for information about some passings and some travel. Of the Knights of Shantae.
Yeah, I'll recall this now. Okay, one sec. And he just sort of heads back into the building, and you can see him through a window. He seems to be going through a little cabinet. He pulls out a little book, papers, and he comes back to you. Right here.
While the guy was gone, if Hezekiah could lean into Romak and say, "Romak, I don't mean to intrude on your desire to meet with your fellow members, but we should lead, I think, with the fact that we have relatively crucial information about a massacre that happened in this realm, and we have communicated with the leader already, and we need to give him a fuller report."
Hezekiah, I know what I'm doing.
All right, I trust you.
Thank you. Rather than just drop a bombshell on him like that, he has his information. I thought I'd warm him up a little bit first, rather than just tell him about the death and destruction we've encountered.
So at this point,
You've got
the dwarf now comes back and looking down at this little loose book, and he opens it up, and there's various papers in there. Yes, here we go. So it was a Knight of Shantae.
Oh, your help in the matter is greatly appreciated. Any information you have will be gratefully received.
So we do have here. There was a Sir Mailk Turk was heading to Romaheim. Seems he was here on temple business. But this was some 3 weeks, 2 days.
Excellent. If I could take a copy of those names, some of those. Lovely, thank you. I was going to ask you to put those up. Cool. Now, would any of these names be personally familiar to me?
Roll a. I think would it be history? Roll a d20.
D20.
Yeah.
There we go. That's a 6.
I mean,
You've got your guidance.
This is true. That's a D. Is that a D4? What's it? D4.
the guidance is.
It's an 8 total.
Yeah. The names that you're familiar with were generally the ones which frequented the Neverwinter Temple. This is one that doesn't spring to your immediate memory. Can't quite recall.
I think if I could have a copy of those names, and I'll make my own inquiries. Thank you.
Yeah, get
While I
yourself a quill, bit of paper, and write it down. These are ours. Don't really have copies, I'm afraid.
Of course. Well, I thank you nonetheless, and I'll make a copy.
And he claps the book. Right, you heading out now? Finished your business in town?
Not quite. I'm afraid we have some ill tidings of late. We thank you for your help and the information about the knight. We must request a conversation with the Lord of the Mountain. We have important information to share with him, and we understand that you are able to connect us with this, if at all possible, please.
And who are you affiliated with?
Who are we affiliated with? I myself am a Knight of Shantae.
But you're with what? I mean, you want to talk to the Lord of the Mountain, but you're just essentially a traveller.
May I speak?
Hezekiah,
Oh, sorry. Look, this is probably far above your pay grade, right? But I have already spoken with the Lord, and warned him of criminals. Have you been told about these two? You should have got two descriptions about people.
You,
Time is of the essence. As my colleague says
contacted
here, you
who?
may not be privy to everything, and we do really require your help in this matter.
Who did you contact about this?
I think Lord Gorshin, or yeah, was it?
Yep.
And as you're saying this to him, you see in the building behind him the figure you spoke to yesterday seems to shift in his chair, turn, look, stands up, and starts to come out. And you see Torp Umber is there once again, and he just puts his hand on the shoulder of the dwarf in front and moves him aside. And he just falls back, and it's just out. Stop. You're talking about reporting an incident. Two figures. South Watchtower. Is that right?
That's correct.
That's right. That was me who sent that message.
You messaged our Lord Gorshin some days ago.
Yeah, that's right.
We received the message. We appreciate the heads up. Don't worry, we have sent a platoon in that direction to check out the tower. We appreciate the heads up. Thank you very much for that.
We were hoping to have a full conversation with Lord Gorshin, or at least someone who can perhaps help us in any way about said matter.
Well, I can help you for now. Lord Gorshin doesn't need to be bothered at the moment in regards to this. If it gets worse, I'm sure he might want to get involved. But for now, I am going to take control of this. So, these two figures, I believe we had a report come through. There was two figures dressed in black.
Yeah, that's right.
And they apparently killed the watch in the tower. The entire.
Yeah, they're all dead.
indeed, at the time we had found them, their bodies had been dead for at least a couple of days, but not more than a week.
Yes. Okay. Well, should this prove to be true, it doesn't sound very good at all. In fact, it sounds quite worrying. The fact that warriors of that quality have been bested by two individuals is a great concern to us. And you can see he does look like he's genuine in what he's saying. He does not look comfortable as he describes those warriors being beaten in battle.
Well, we intend to go after them.
You do.
We do.
Would be a good thing. If you bring them in alive, bring them here as well. I'm sure we would have a few things we'd like to say to them. But if you are chasing after them, we did note down that 2 figures matching that description did pass through. They didn't come into the town. They did not enter the city in any way. They merely passed through, heading to the east. So if you wish to follow them, I'd suggest you head in that direction. This was many days now, so...
Yeah, we
Sorry,
plan on going after.
Would you be able to tell us if they had passed through the beside the city before we had made contact with Lord Gorsham?
Our reports say it was around about the same time.
I see.
We
So
don't
they
keep
are.
logs. We don't keep as many logs on the outskirts as we do the entrance. You see.
See, so they're still at least 2 to 3 days ahead of us.
I can tell you that they didn't enter the city. They were heading towards the Argon Bridge. We've had no report from the tower that anything has happened there. So I don't have anything as to where they could have proceeded from there.
Sir, as we are talking about 2 incredibly talented and vicious criminals, do you believe that there's a chance that they would be interested in communicating with or freeing some individuals in the prison? And if so, if the prison should be alerted to watch out for such extremely dangerous individuals?
We're in contact with the prison every day. And I can assure you, at the moment, we've had no reports of anything happening.
That is wonderful to hear.
If they're scoping out the prison, you may still find them. But as for an actual incursion or attack or anything of that nature, nothing has happened at the moment.
So you've heard from them today?
We are due to hear from them midday.
Kind of just look round at the group with kind of a fingers crossed kind of a vibe. Well, you know.
Sorry, one last thing. Sir, as we are planning on crossing the bridge and going in the direction of the prison, are there any documents that we ought to bring with us so that they might know to not suspect us quite as highly as they would suspect these other 2 individuals?
We will warn them that there are 2 individuals around. You are a bigger group, dressed in different clothing, it seems. We will give your description to them and make sure that they are aware that other people will be going. You will not be the only people travelling that road, but this is a common passage. The tower itself is not directly on the road, so you shouldn't go near it unless you are specifically going to the tower.
I see. Thank you.
Is there do you have a way of contacting us should things change?
We do have mages who specialise in sending message.
Perhaps you can, give me their name, and should I need to send more messages, I can direct it at one of them who is more agreeable receiving messages.
You can talk to
Cinder. This is Cinder Broker.
Rogue. Perfect.
Mage, yes.
She is one of our guards here, but she has got a certain knack for the arcane. What is your name once again? We got down here. Let's see. Lock.
Yep, that is my name.
There we go. I'll make sure that she can get in contact with you. What is it exactly you would prefer to find out? Just when we've heard back from the tower, is that it?
Yeah, that would be good. Especially if you don't hear back from them. Yeah,
Well-
just if I have any more information, perhaps if we apprehend them, maybe we can call you to kind
If
of
we
come get them.
if we have any news worthy of relaying onto you, I'm sure we can get her to give you a message. Other than that, I'm sure you won't receive one.
Yeah, well, no news is good news, right?
Maybe so. Right, how long are you intending to stay in the town?
Well, we're
We
hoping
have a
to
few.
leave
We have a few tasks that need to be completed, and we are waiting on some items to be delivered tomorrow.
tomorrow.
To get on the road.
I thought we were
Is that
leaving
not right?
today.
I thought we had some things to pick up tomorrow.
I haven't
My
heard
bad if
that
I haven't. Oh, my bad.
because I don't have the thing.
That's right. No, look, that is a fair point, actually. Was that shared? I know so I'm trying to get the timing right. Have I received the message from Jasper at this point
You
to
would
say
have,
that
yeah.
I'm required in the marketplace? Yeah, so I
Yeah.
would know that we have a wait then. So, therefore, I will pass on to Locke and, by proxy, Talk that we will be in town for at least another, I don't know, 12 hours, till the next day. 24 hours, probably.
I'm gonna kill that little.
Right,
Yeah,
well,
the aim to be on the road as
keep-
swiftly as possible. This is
keep
an
yourselves out of
important
trouble. Enjoy your
The apprehension
enjoy
of
your
these two
time.
figures is important.
We will keep an eye on things as we always do. Now, you make yourselves back to the city if you so wish, and keep your noses clean. Stay out of trouble, and hopefully you'll enjoy the rest of your visit.
Thank you.
And he
I'm
nods
sure.
you turn, just walk straight back into the building.
Very serious, aren't they? Right, shall we try and find the others?
Yes, we definitely need to make a decision about how urgently we need to pursue these individuals. Seemingly, they have disappeared in between going east from this town, and then they are not noticed at the prison tower. On one hand, I absolutely do want to chase after them as quickly as possible, but perhaps going out not fully prepared would be perilous.
Yeah, well, we'll find the others, and then we'll talk about it when they're ready.
So you make your way back down to the city. Eventually, you will find yourselves back together again. Is there anything you wanted to just go over before we close off the game for the night?
I wanted to get a goat.
Okay, go.
How much for a goat?
You make your way down, and on the way down, you do spot what looks like a stabling area. You get closer, and you see there is a sign hanging above, reading the Iron Horn Pens.
Yeah, we can do this next time if people want to go to bed. But I just thought, yeah, I'll just go in and buy a riding goat.
Okay. You
How
go
much
in,
are they?
and you're greeted by this old barrel-chested dwarf with sort of thick, weathered hands, perpetually grumpy expression. He's got like a long grey streaked beard tied into 3 thick braids and a crooked nose. He will offer you the ability to get a goat. A goat is going to cost you. It's going to be about 20 gold.
Oh, okay. I will pay a little bit extra for a premium goat. 25 gold.
25 gold, and you get a saddle for it as well.
Perfect.
The pack
Turbo
saddle.
goat.
Yes.
Actually, it will be a little bit more for the saddle. In fact, you're going to need to put an extra. 30. It's going to be 30 gold for the saddle, pack saddle, and the goat.
Okay, so 5 more.
Yes. You have this
Anything.
little sort of light brown, grey-coloured furred goat. It's got these curled horns. One of them is slightly, not quite as long as the other. It's like broken off slightly.
I will also drop a couple of gold on some feed as well.
Mm-hmm. And you can see he's actually got these little golden bands around the these sort of ankles on all of his legs. It's almost like armor, but it's definitely decorative rather than anything practical.
Perfect. I'll have to think of a name for next session.
Okay. All right. Well, looking at the time, it's definitely a good time for us to call it a night. So, unless there was anything else anyone wanted to say, we can close it there.
I suppose the only thing I've got in mind was like with the way the party's been talking about opening at the table. Keck would kind of know about this grim person and the Lord of the Mountain at this point. Would we say? Not like in detail, but he knows that they're looking for these people by those names.
The passing conversation, yes, you would know. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned it when we were drinking the night before.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you and Ramak were discussing it, and Ramak being rather tipsy at the time, I imagine, was speaking rather loudly.
Oh, it wasn't a private conversation. You were there.
Yeah, not necessarily loudly, but freely, definitely.
Can I just confirm what the name was? Grim what?
So there's Lord Gorshin, and then there's Grint Horbar.
Grint Horbar.
So hold on, let me post these. So yeah, I'll private message you because I think I've got a little less of a limit.
That's fine. I just need the names. That's all I've heard at the moment. I've got a talk on already.
Yeah.
So Lord Gorshin is Lord of the Mountain, isn't he?
No, Grint Horbar's Lord of the Mountain.
Yeah, Grint's Lord.
Oh,
and
sorry.
then
Right.
Yeah, Lord Gorshin is commander of the guard.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, guys. Well, with that, I think we'll call it a night and say thank you to all of you for joining the game tonight. And yeah, look forward to the next one where we can delve in a little bit deeper in some of these things. See where you go next.
Very
yeah,
sweet.
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Ah. Oh.
And fall asleep.